Hello guys, welcome to BioGuru to your own channel. Today we will discuss some MCQs of principles of inheritance and variation for your term 1 examinations. So now sum total of characters which are transmitted from generation to generation constitute genetics, mutations, heredity or variations. Yes, you are right, it is heredity. Then genetics is the study of heredity and variations and similarities, heredity and development or genetics adaptation. Yeah, it is heredity and variations. Good. Now the heredity and variations are due to sexual reproduction, vegetative reproduction or all of these. Yeah, it is sexual reproduction. So Mendel conducted his hybridization experiments with Drosophila melanogaster, the fruit fly, then Lanthyris odoratus, the sweet pea plant, then Oinothera lamarckiana, the evening primrose, or Pisum sativum, the garden pea plant. Yes, it is Pisum sativum, the garden pea plant. How many pairs of contrasting characters were studied by the Mendel? 1, 2, 7 and 14. Yeah, it is 7. Then which of the following character was not studied by the Mendel? Plant height, position of flower, color of pod or length of the pod. Good, it is length of the pod. One of the following is incorrect with respect to the experimental plant selected by Mendel to perform hybridization experiments. It is dicot. It is a member of Fabaceae. It shows male and female flowers separately. It has short lifespan. Yeah, it shows male and female flowers separately. Which of the following pairs indicate recessive characters in pea plants? White flower and axillary flowers, yellow cotyledons and inflated pods, green cotyledons and tall plants, or wrinkled seed and terminal flowers. It is wrinkled seed and terminal flowers. That's good. Which of the following characters in pea plants are not contrasting characters? Brown and yellow seeds, green and yellow pods, tall and dwarf plants, or violet and white flowers. Yeah, brown and yellow seeds. Advantage of using the garden pea for Mendel's experiment included all listed below except true breeding varieties were scarce. It can be crossed and self-fertilize easily. It has relatively short life cycle and produces large number of offsprings. It has bisexual flowers. Yeah, true breeding varieties were scarce. So the main reason for the discovery of laws of heredity by Mendel, he analyzed every trait independently. He was lucky that he didn't come across linkage. His plants were true breedings. All of the above. Yeah, all of the above. That's great. Now, inheritance of one gene, monohybrid cross. So, emasculation is achieved by removal of a stigma, removal of anthers, removal of sepals and petals, or all of the above. Yes, absolutely right. It is removal of anthers. Alleles are homologous chromosomes, linked genes, dominant genes, alternate forms of a gene. Yeah, it is alternate forms of a gene. That's good. If a plant heterozygous for tallness is self, the F2 generation has both tall and dwarf plants. This proves the principle of dominance, segregation, independent assortment, incomplete dominance. Yeah, it is segregation. An organism with two identical alleles of gene in a cell is dominant, homozygous, heterozygous, or recessive. Yes, you are right. It is homozygous. That's good. In a monohybrid cross, the F2 phenotypic ratio is 1 ratio 2 ratio 1, 2 ratio 1, 3 ratio 1, or 1 ratio 3 ratio 1. Yeah, it is 3 ratio 1 because it is phenotypic ratio. So the genotype of the F1 heterozygous tall plants is capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, small t, small t, and capital T, or capital T, small t. Yes, it is capital T, small t. So Mendel's principle of segregation was based on the separation of alleles in the garden pea during embryonic development, seed formation, gamete formation, pollination. Yeah, it is gamete formation. That's good. When an individual is having both the alleles of contrasting characters, It is said to be homozygous, heterozygous, dioecious, or monoecious. It is heterozygous. That's good. Law of dominance is the result of backcross, incomplete dominance, dihybrid cross, or codominance. It is backcross. Which of the following laws was discovered first by the Mendel? Law of dominance, law of segregation, law of independent assortment, or law of sex determination? Yeah, it is law of dominance, first law of the Mendel. Then the term gene, which was coined by the Johnson, was referred by Mendel as factor, active principle, cistron, or replicon. Yeah, it is factor. Mendel crossed a pure white flowered recessive pea plant with a dominant pure violet flowered plant. The first generation of hybrids from the cross should show 50% white flowers and 50% violet flowers. All violet flowered plants, 75% violet flowered and 25% white flowered plants, all white flowered plants. Yeah, it is all violet flowered plants. That's good. In F1 generation of monohybrid cross, dominant character appears in F2 generation. Recessive character will appear in which proportion? 1 by 2, 3 by 4, 1 by 3, or 1 by 4? Yes, it is 1 by 4. That's good. In a monohybrid cross, the F2 progeny shows 3 by 4 proportion tall plants and 1 by 4 proportion dwarf plants from the group of tall plants. So 1 by 3 are homozygous, 1 by 2 are homozygous, 3 by 4 are heterozygous, or 1 by 4 are heterozygous. Yes, it is 1 by 3 are homozygous. That's good. Punnett square is useful for understanding the types of gametes formed during meiosis, the reasons for dominance of one character over the other, the genotypes and phenotypes of the offsprings, the reasons for segregation of characters. Yes, the genotypes and phenotypes of the offspring. The number of type of gametes produced by the monohybrid 1, 2, 3 or 4. Yes, it is 2. That's good. Now, deviations of Mendelian inheritance. Now, red flower, capital R, plant is crossed with the white, small r. All the offsprings are pink. This indicates that our gene is hybrid, recessive, incomplete dominance or mutant. Yes, you are right. It is incomplete dominance. Very good. So, in which of the following incomplete dominance is seen? Wheat, maize, mouse, or snapdragons? Yes, snapdragons. That's great. In a snapdragon, when a red flowered plant is crossed with a white flowered one, the resultant hybrid plants have pink colored flowers. If F1 hybrid is crossed with a white flowered plant, the progeny will be 10% red. The red flower and white flower ratio is 3:1. The pink flower and white flower ratio is 1:1, or the pink, red and white flower ratio is 1:2:1. Yeah, the pink flower and white flower ratio is 1:1. That's good. Complete dominance is absent in Pisum sativum, snapdragon, Lathyrus odoratus, or Oinothera lamarckiana. Yeah, it is snapdragon. In F2 progeny of snapdragons resulted through a monohybrid cross, the cause of 1:2:1 phenotypic ratio is epistasis, inhibition, quantitative inheritance, or incomplete dominance. Yes, you are right. It is incomplete dominance. That's great. In a case of incomplete dominance, F2 generation was genotype ratio 3:1, phenotype ratio 3:1, genotypic ratio is equal to phenotypic ratio, or genotypic ratio is not equal to phenotypic ratio. Yes, genotypic ratio is equal to phenotypic ratio. When two alleles of a gene are present and both dominant, the situation is called incomplete dominance, codominance, inhibition, segregation. It is codominance. That's good. Now, what would be the color of flowers in F1 progeny as the result of a cross between homozygous red and homozygous white flowered snapdragon? Red, white, red and white, or pink? Yeah, it is pink. That's good. Alleles that produce independent effects in heterozygous condition are called supplementary alleles, codominant alleles, dominant alleles, complementary alleles. Yeah, it is codominant alleles. That's good. Which is called a pleiotropic gene. Control characters of human beings only. Control a character of plants. Control one character in association with other. Control more than one character. Yeah, control more than one character. That's good. Pleiotropic genes have multiple genotype, single genotype, single phenotype, or multiple phenotype. Yes, you are right. It is multiple phenotype. That's good. Now, next topic is inheritance of two genes, dihybrid cross. So, in an experiment on pea plants with yellow round seeds were crossed with plants having green wrinkled seeds. The phenotypic ratio of F1 progeny, 9 yellow round, 3 green round, and 3 yellow wrinkled, and 1 green wrinkled. All wrinkled green, all yellow round, 1 yellow round, 1 green round, 1 yellow wrinkled, and 1 green wrinkled. Yes, it is 1 yellow round, 1 green round, 1 yellow wrinkle, and 1 green wrinkle. Yes, that's good. Now, in F2 progeny of dihybrid cross, the expected genotypic proportions of individuals homozygous for both dominant characters is 3 upon 16, yeah, 9 by 16, 12 by 16, and 1 by 16. Yes, it is 1 by 16. That's good. Mendel might not be able to establish the law of independent assortment if both characters were located on separate non-homologous chromosomes, same homologous chromosomes, separate chromosomes but at different loci, or sex chromosomes. Yeah, same homologous chromosomes. The percentage of YR gametes produced by capital Y capital R small r parent will be 25, 50, 75, 12.5. Yeah, it is 25. That's good. Mendelian recombinations are due to independent assortment of genes, linkage of genes, mutation, or dominance. Yes, it is independent assortment of genes. That's good. Dominant gene for round shape of seed is R and for yellow color is Y. A plant heterozygous for both traits is self. Then the ratio of pure homozygous wrinkled and green offspring would be 1 by 4, 4 by 6, 3 by 16, or 1 by 16. Yes, it is 1 by 16. That's good. Law of independent assortment can be proved by test cross, back cross, monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross. Yeah, it is dihybrid cross. That's good. The Punnett square shown below represents the pattern of inheritance in dihybrid cross. It is the pattern of dihybrid cross. Okay, based on the Punnett square, a progeny of type H will produce seeds with the genotype identical to seeds produced by the progeny of type M, type J, type P, or type N. You can see this chart again. Okay, so yeah, it is type N. Which genotype characterizes an organism that is heterozygous for two genes, capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y, capital R, small r, capital Y, capital Y, capital R, capital R, capital Y, small y, or capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Yeah, it is capital R, capital Y, small y. That's good. Which type of gametes does capital R, capital Y, small y produce? Capital R, capital Y, capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Or capital R, capital Y, capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y on capital R, capital Y. Capital R, capital Y, small r, capital Y, small r, capital Y, or small y, or capital R, capital Y, capital R, small r, capital Y, or small r, capital Y. Yes, it is capital R, capital Y, capital R, small r, capital Y, or small r, small y. That's nice. Pure homozygous offspring in a dihybrid cross in the F2 generation will be 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 16. Yes, it is 1 by 8. That's nice. So from across capital A, small a, capital B, small a, capital B, following genotypic ratio will be obtained in F1 generation. 3 capital A capital A capital B and 1 small a capital B. All capital A capital B and no small a and capital B. 1 capital A small a capital B, 1 small a and capital B, or 1 capital A small b, 3 small a and capital B. Yes, you are right. It is 1 capital A capital B, 1 small a capital B. So, from the F2 progeny obtained in the dihybrid cross between capital Y and small y parents, the ratio between homozygous and heterozygous individual respectively will be 1 ratio 3, 3 ratio 1, 1 ratio 2 ratio 1, 1 ratio 2 ratio 1. Yes, it is 1 ratio 3. Thank you.